What is the significance of St. Michael's line, a ley line that connects Europe and the Holy Hello and welcome back to another episode of Structure. I'm Elle Stone, aka the Ancient Ninja. Today we're going to talk about St. Michael's line, a ley line that connects 7 monasteries across Europe and the Holy Land, each one dedicated to Michael the Archangel, also known as Saint Michael. Now, before we get into the line, all of the monasteries on it, the significance, and my thoughts around it, if you're not familiar with what a ley line is, it's essentially blueprints laid across the earth. Think of it like an architect laying your blueprint. These lines are interconnected. They're lines that have significant energetic importance, spiritual. They're used in rituals. Rituals are built around ley lines that give energy and power, and many big rituals that take a long time to prepare for, such as opening portals, will be set around ley lines. All ancient structures that we see are set on ley lines, so they're very important in our world, yet of course they're one of those things that's deemed pseudoscience. I'm going to link some stuff below and you can kind of do your research and look into that as well if you're not familiar. And I will also point out, while modern science claims to deny ley lines, they also don't, because as we're going to dive into St. Michael's line, they do acknowledge the significance of the line. So it's like they do and they don't, even though we know they're using ley lines for many reasons. Okay, so St. Michael's line is a mystical alignment of 7 monasteries spanning across Europe and the Holy Land, believed to honor Michael the Archangel. Now, these sites are geographically aligned, and they hold also, along with the ley line, they hold religious significance, and they're often tied to miraculous events or legends. And they all happen to be built on this ley line. This one ley line perfectly down to the latitude and longitude. Okay, so let's get into the 7 monasteries. The first one is the Scaing Michael of Ireland, a rugged island monastery perched on steep cliffs, famous for its isolated beauty and early Christian monks. Now this sits atop, so St. Michael's line is known as the sword of St. Michael. So the scaling essentially sits, I believe it sits atop the sword. I'll have to look to see, because different people have put the sword different ways, but it's on the edge. So that's the Scaing Michael in Ireland. The second monastery, St. Michael's Mount of England, a tidal island with a medieval church and castle linked to Archangel Michael's appearance to fishermen. Now, I'm not going to go into all these stories individually. I might read them at some other time, but it's not something I care to go into to explain. I'm more so going to go over them and then tie it into something that I found very interesting about this specific line or sword. The third, Mont Saint-Michel, or Mont Saint-Michel in France, a UNESCO site on an island with a stunning abbey rising above the sea, blending natural and architectural splendor. So we're gonna look up UNESCO, by the way. Like, I'm pretty sure, if my mind is right, Yes, UNESCO is apparently a United Nations company that specializes in promoting world peace and security through education. I've heard a lot about UNESCO. We're not going to go into that either, but that is very interesting that on the monastery that is on the line, St. Michael's line, UNESCO owns that. That's theirs. So it kind of seems like a villain site to me. Still beautiful, but and also my name's in all of these. So Michel, even though it's Michael, it's the French version. It's so interesting. The fourth monastery, Sacra de San Michele of Italy, a breathtaking mountaintop abbey often called the Gate of the Alps, symbolizing the fight against evil. Incredible. Next one. And this one is actually really close to the Vatican, which we're going to get into after I finish the monasteries, a point about that. The Monte Sant'Angelo of Italy, the sanctuary of Monte Sant'Angelo, a cave shrine where Michael is said to have appeared multiple times. It's also known as the sanctuary of Saint Michael, and it's like an actual cave inside. The sixth, Monastery of Semi in Greece. Located on a Greek island, the vibrant monastery houses one of the largest statues of Archangel Michael. I'll put a picture of that. And I mean, these are just incredible. You know, the more you see them, the breathtaking architecture of them, and the fact that they're sitting on St. Michael's sword, it's no coincidence these were built this way. And the last one, Stella Maris Monastery in Israel. On Mount Carmel, it represents Michael's spiritual guidance and overlooks the Mediterranean Sea. So this one is at the end, and it is in Israel, and it connects all of those on the same line. So this connects Europe to the Holy Land. The Vatican, it's connecting it to Israel. And if you've watched my video before when the war broke out back in 2023, I did an episode on an excavation of a Roman site that was found in Israel. And, you know, it's something that I always say because I believe Rome 100% rebranded. It did not fall. It became the Church of Rome instead of Rome, the empire. So then the church could still rule in any way that it wanted in any supposed civilization, because it's a church. And then we see now that that is the case. That's become how it is. So Rome essentially became the Roman church, and that's proven in everything that they have and how they occupy powerful ley lines. So all 7 of these ley lines sitting on the sword, St. Michael's ley line. What is my connection to these? Well, if we go back to the sanctuary of Michael, the Monte Sant'Angelo, the sanctuary of Monte Sant'Angelo. I love pronouncing things. I'm not the best pronouncer of words. I can know what something means in a split second, but the moment it comes out of my mouth, it might not sound the best. But anyway, so this sits very close to the Vatican, and I was curious about St. Peter's Basilica, which is in the Vatican, right? So I was kind of like looking up. I was like, how would we connect St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican to St. Michael's line? Is it some way close? Are they connected in some way? Which obviously everything's connected. And so I actually got on to chat, and quickest way, obviously, to ask a question. I asked, and was like, could you show me? And it actually did. It said that there is a alignment between St. Peter's Basilica, Sacra di Saint Michel, and the sanctuary of Monte Sant'Angelo. And it isn't a straight line, but rather an obtuse triangle. And I'm going to post a picture of it right here. So St. Peter's Basilica connects to both the sanctuary and of Amante San Angelo, the sanctuary of Michael, and Sacra di San Michele. It connects to both of those. And so that's two of the, in Italy, both of the ones in Italy, not the two, it's the two that are in Italy, the monasteries that are on St. Michael's line, both connect to St. Peter's Basilica and form a pyramid of sorts, a triangle, an obtuse triangle. And so what does this mean? What could this possibly mean in relation to them being together? And it's an obtuse scaling triangle, by the way. So it's very interesting. It gives the measurements and everything and goes into the geometry of it. And so I've been seeing lately online about supposedly the Pope opening up 5 portals on Christmas Eve today. Could this have any relation? St. Peter's Basilica being in alignment with 2 points, the 2 points in Italy that are connected to St. Michael's line? Could that be a way to harness powerful energy? Could that be the perfect alignment, meaning the ritual would essentially be done at St. Peter's Basilica, right? Or one of the others, depending on. Could be done on the line. It could be done in the sanctuary of Michael. Now, this got me thinking. This line would harness so much power because it would connect you to all of these different places at once. And so if you had a place that you were connected at all these places at once, so that would probably mean it would be the Basilica that it would be at. You're connecting that to all these because then it's like, it's powering all those. You're harnessing the energy of Michael the Archangel. And we can talk about that in a whole other video. I have many, many thoughts on that and what it means, what they're trying to harness. If you know of Saint Michael the Archangel, you know that in the Bible, he is known as the savior of the Israelites. It's pretty known biblically if you have read the Bible. So what could that mean when we are sitting at the brink of a war between Israel and Palestine? I'm not even sure at this point who all is involved in the war, but we know that it's in the Holy Land. It's happening in the Holy Land. And the Holy Land was bombed and whatnot. So if Michael is the savior of the Israelites, what would be a way to harness energy doing a dark ritual, trying to open portals to unleash mayhemic things, which could only happen trying to harness the energy of these and open a portal in this area? Michael's known to have a flaming sword, so that could only mean opening flames, essentially. What would be a way to sacrifice? Because you would have to sacrifice. This is something that's very common with their God, the Old Testament God. It's the sacrificial God that demands sacrifices and everything. That if you love me, you will sacrifice. You will kill something and show it to me. So what would be something you would do harnessing that energy? I mean, in theory, you would sacrifice a lot of Israeli people. Could that mean the war is part of the ritual? This whole time the war's been part of the ritual? And now this is all hearsay. This is just me putting together, because we know war within itself is a sacrifice ritual. It is a way to sacrifice, get energy, sacrifice blood, all those things. War is never something that's done for any other reason but for power. And I'm not entirely saying there isn't times where war is necessary. I read Cyrus the Great. I am a huge advocate for understanding the beauty and dynamics of everything. Don't get me wrong there. But war is essentially a grab for power. Could this war have been a big ritual sacrifice? I looked to, at the beginning of the war, the date of the war, which was October 27th of 2023, the date that it was like official that the war started. Now that is officially 444 days between Christmas Eve. Very, very interesting numerically. So I didn't go down the rabbit hole of the alignment of the stars that day, reading the charts, anything like that. But I did find it very interesting that this ley line does connect to the Vatican. We're hearing rumors of this. There's a war going on. I think it's time that we start really, really considering the involvement of religion in everything, specifically the Vatican. That's it for today. I hope that you really liked the video. Please like and subscribe if you did. Feel free to comment, tell me your thoughts. I'm not trying to be a prophet of any sorts or say anything. I merely like to do research, put together lines, no pun intended, and hypothesize. So yeah, let me know what you think if you do think anything. If not, thanks so much for watching this video. And as always, keep it pointy.